Chapter 1 of Business Communications, Developing Leaders for a Networked World. In this chapter, we're going to explain the importance of establishing credibility for business communications, describe how competence, caring, and character affect your credibility as a communicator, and define and explain business ethics, corporate values, and personal values, what the differences are. Explain the FAIR approach to ethical business communications. So let's get started. The chapter covers the importance of credibility, competence, caring and character, business ethics, corporate values, and personal values, and the FAIR approach: facts, access, impacts, respect. The chapter, oops. Do you operate from a position of trust or credibility? That is one of the first things you should consider as you communicate. In the business world, you often start from a deficit of trust. People don't know you that well. As a result, one of your first goals should be to gain trust or credibility from colleagues, clients, customers, and other business contacts. Unfortunately, the public also increasingly views companies with less trust. Approximately 85% of senior executives surveyed believe that public trust in business has gone down. A deficit of trust also exists within companies. Various surveys show that employees often do not trust their own business leaders. Just 51% of employees trust senior management, and only 36% of employees believe that their company leaders act with honesty and integrity. Furthermore, approximately 76% of employees have seen illegal or unethical conduct in the past 12 months at their jobs. Shocking. So, as depicted in Figure 1.1, the trust extended by the general public to business executives is far lower than the trust extended to members of other selected professions. So, in this post-trust era, the public overwhelmingly views businesses as operating against the public's best interest, and the majority of employees view their leaders and colleagues with skepticism. Regarding the post-trust era, Michael Mislansky, a leading corporate communication expert, said, "Just a few years ago, salespeople, corporate leaders, marketing departments, and communicators like me had it pretty easy. We looked at communication as a relatively linear process, but trust disappeared. Things changed." So, as a future leader and executive, you can control your reputation as a credible communicator by focusing on three well-established factors: competence, caring, and character. Research has shown that these three factors almost entirely account for whether a person is considered credible in professional situations. As you can see in Figure 1.2, credibility is like a three-legged stool. Without any one element, it is compromised. Competence refers to the knowledge and skills needed to accomplish business tasks, approach business problems, and get a job done. Most people will judge your competence based on your track record of success and achievement. People develop competence in many ways through study, observation, and most importantly, practice and real world business experiences. Your entire business program is likely centered on developing competence in a certain business discipline or industry. You may already have significant business experience. If you're a novice, seeking internships and jobs related to your discipline will help you develop the competence you need. How you communicate directly affects how others perceive your competence. Throughout this book, you will find an emphasis on two traits associated with competence: a focus on action and an emphasis on results. A focus on action implies that you seize business opportunities. Meg Whitman emphasized this action oriented approach to work. The way I usually put it is the price of inaction is far greater than the cost of making a mistake. You do not have to be perfect to be an effective leader, but you cannot be timid. She also described an emphasis on results. I don't believe that all companies needs to do is declare that it has values and then say, trust us, we know what's best. To be a success, you must identify a goal with a measurable outcome, and you must hit that goal every day, every month, every year. Hence the focus on action, emphasis on results. Now, caring. Your colleagues, clients, and even your customers will trust you far more if they know you care about them. As Mahatma Gandhi once stated, the moment there is suspicion about a person's motive, everything he does becomes tainted. This statement applies in nearly all business circumstances. In the business world, caring implies understanding the interests of others, cultivating a sense of community, and giving to others and showing generosity. People distrust individuals who are perceived as unconcerned about the interests of others or disinterest in causes above and beyond themselves. So your ability to gain credibility strongly depends on your ability to show that you care for the needs of others. Furthermore, your ability to show you care puts you in a rare position as a business leader. After all, less than half, 42% of employees believe that their managers care about them. Effective communicators gain trust by connecting with others. That is, seeking to understand others' needs, wants, opinions, feelings, and aspirations. Virtually every aspect of communication you will focus on in this book relies on this other orientation. The most effective business leader in today's corporate environment have generally risen to their position because of their sense of community and teamwork. Throughout this textbook, you will see techniques for communicating your we and you orientation rather than a me orientation. Speaking about ours needs or your needs as opposed to my needs engenders trust and helps you come up with solutions that achieve mutual benefit. Recent research has shown that most professionals can broadly be characterized as givers and takers. I've experienced them all. Givers are those professionals who go out of their way to help colleagues, respond to their requests and needs, and generously support others in the workplace. Takers are those professionals who frequently ask for favors from colleagues, yet infrequently volunteer to help their peers in return. Dozens of studies in recent years show that organizations with more generous and giving employees perform better. Such companies achieve higher profitability, higher productivity, and higher customer satisfaction. So, character. Character refers to a reputation for staying true to commitments made to stakeholders and adhering to high moral and ethical values. Character has always been important in business relationships, especially long-term collaborative relationships. It is becoming even more important. especially for leaders in an increasingly open, transparent, connected, and interdependent workplace. Character is central in creating trust. Consider the recent research in Figure 1.3. Business executives were asked what was the most important determinants of trust in workplace projects. Overwhelmingly, character based traits, that is, honesty, ethical behavior, willingness to exchange information, ranked at the top. Not knowledge. Ethics are rules of conduct or moral principle that guide individual or group behavior. Business ethics are the commonly accepted beliefs and principles in the business community for you will soon be in leadership positions within your organization. You can create a transparent workplace by being accessible, acknowledging the concerns of others, and following through when you don't have immediate answers. Trust building behaviors include extending trust, sharing information, telling it straight, providing opportunities, admitting mistakes, and always setting a good example by following rules. Often employees fail to speak up when they observe potentially unethical behavior. Business professionals remain silent for four basic reasons. They assume it's standard practice. They rationalize that it's not a big deal. They say to themselves, it's not their responsibility. Not my circus, not my monkeys, right? They want to be loyal. Prepare now to speak up constructively when you observe unethical behavior. It's part of your job. You can challenge rationalizations with questions such as, if this is the standard, why is there a policy against it? If it is expected, are we comfortable being public about it? I may be new here, so I might not understand our policy clearly, but shouldn't we la la la? You've got to stand up for that. Corporate values are the stated and lived values of a company. The Society for Human Resource Management espouses corporate values as the essence of business ethics. It defines business ethics as organizational values, guidelines, and codes. And it emphasizes behaving within these boundaries when faced with dilemmas in business or professional work. Personal values are those values that individuals prioritize and adhere to from within yourself. Now, most organizations have created a written code of conduct and code of ethics. Publicly traded companies are required by a federal law, Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, to have a code of ethics available to all employees and to ensure that it is enacted. For example, eBay's culture of trust is embodied in its Code of Business Conduct and Ethics. It encourages employees that, beyond complying with the law, that they do the right thing. That's ethics. It encourages them to be open, honest, and direct and conduct business with integrity. Encourage open communication free from the threat of retaliation. Aligning personal values with corporate values is an important element of character. After all, if one is living corporate values that do not match one's personal values, then there is a lack of integrity there. Again, you want to be open and honest. By avoiding open and honest communication of business problems, employees doom a business to poor financial performance. Dishonesty is among the primary reasons for lower employee morale. Nearly 6 in 10 employees say that they've left an organization because of lack of trust. The key reasons being lack of communication and dishonesty. Finally, dishonesty can be reason for dismissal. In some cases, dishonesty can destroy careers and even result in criminal charges. And I've left, in my own little side note here, I have left a company over what I saw as being dishonest practices. A sense of accountability implies an obligation to meet the needs and wants of others. It also involves an enlarged vision of those affected by your business activity. It takes a stakeholder view that includes all groups in society affected by your business activities. Thus, a sense of accountability involves a feeling of responsibility to stakeholders and a duty to other employees and customers. By placing a rationale for accountability in your communications, you will generate substantial trust and goodwill from others. So, what is fair? The FAIR test helps you examine how well you have provided the facts, how well you have granted access to your motives, reasoning, and information, how well you have examined impacts on stakeholders, and how well you have shown respect. In all your communications, you should consider whether you are being fair to others. Ask yourself these questions. For routine communications, you make this calculation quickly. For important, less straightforward, and perhaps even controversial communications, you should spend a significant amount of time evaluating the best way to be fair. You might consider talking to your supervisor, peers, and other trusted individuals to apprise the situation. So there's some examples of questions you would ask yourself. Establishing credibility allows you to communicate more easily and more influentially. Extensive research has shown that high trust relationships lead to more efficient and superior work outcomes. In terms of ease of communication, credibility leads to less resistance from others. When business leaders and managers are considered credible, the positive effect. A study showed that companies with highly engaged employees were nearly 3 times as profitable as companies. So, this textbook is designed to help you improve your skills in a variety of professional settings so you can become a credible and trusted communicator. Overall, you may feel that you excel at some communication skills, but not others. Regardless of your present skill level, this course is going to give you the opportunity to deliberately and consciously elevate your communication skill set. It also gives you tools to continue developing your communication abilities over the course of your career. You could see in this figure that we break the textbook down. So what are your takeaways? After studying this chapter, you should understand the following topics: the importance of credibility, competence, caring, and character, business ethics, corporate values, and personal values, and the FAIR approach: facts, access, impacts, and respect. So that's the conclusion of Chapter 1's voice lecture.